the residents of Lahaina and Maui, they don't want to be forgotten. And so I think it's important that we be mindful of that and keep them at the forefront, their story. And I believe that talking to the residents, keeping them in front of the camera, sharing their stories, sharing their loss of loved ones and their loss of their homes and their their belongings, they need help, and we need to do as much as we can. And if it's nothing more than just sharing the story and maybe interviewing them, which we have hopes of doing, I think that'll keep the story alive. So I recently came across a story of Lahaina resident Ron sharing his experience of the day of the fire and the days after. Let's take a listen.
So I woke up like about 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning, a couple times, and the house was shaking. The weather guy said, we expect high winds, but this ain't high winds. This is like hurricane winds. Because the house I was in is an old kind of like plantation style design. It's all wood. It was like shaking, because it was like a giant shaking the house. I'm like, oh my God. I look out the window, I moved the curtain a little bit, and I could see like our roof. It was like it was ready to pop off. I'm like, oh my God. All I'm thinking about, no fire at this time. So I go back to sleep, and my friend started texting me, beep, beep, beep. And the phone's working, of course. He's texting me. So I look, and he goes, hey, Ron, there's a little brush fire up in Lahaina Luna. Lahaina Luna is where I'm at right now. In fact, I can see where the original fire started. I look out my window right here. That's where it started, right there. Wow. But he goes, they put it out, so we're good to go. I'm like, oh, thank God. Because in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, man, we got some strong winds and it's shifting. Okay? Yeah. If there's a fire and they didn't put it out, in the back of my mind, I go, man, Lahaina's going to be wiped out. Now, this is like, 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm thinking, thank God they put it out. We're going to get wiped out if not. I'm thinking, okay, they put the fire out, but the wind is just howling. All right? I go back to sleep because my family said, hey, Uncle Ron, you might as well just stay home because there's all kind of debris like flying all over the place, right? So I'm thinking, okay, I'll just stay home. And then all of a sudden, fast forward like about maybe 11 o'clock, I look out the window, there's a thin line of like smoke, like really light. And I hear sirens going off. So I figure, well, that they got another one, but the fire department is always good at putting out fires here in Lahaina.
Yeah.
And then as the day goes on, maybe now we're talking 1 o'clock. So one of our family members goes, hey, Uncle Ron, my niece Tamara bought a new car because they do the rental thing, the Turo thing. And the new car that she bought got totaled because of the roofing fell off and like just smashed her car. Boom, boom. I go, no kidding. So in my mind, I'm not thinking about the fire. I'm thinking, man, my niece's car, brand new, got ruined. Yeah. That's messed up. So fast forward again, maybe an hour or two, that smoke started to get really thick. So my nephew comes home from work. That's my niece's husband. He goes, Uncle Ron, man, maybe you want to help me like shore up all the loose items. Okay? Yeah. And this is how weird it was, Mimi, because we see the smoke, but we didn't hear anybody goes, hey, man, Lahaina's on fire. I think you guys got to split the scene over here.
Right.
Nobody. Everybody's kind of like nonchalant or whatever. Kind of like, hey, what's up? Like, hey, what's up? And then all of a sudden, like, oh, yeah, well, something must be burning down there. And it's burning, but we're not thinking. We're not thinking like Lahaina's on fire at this time. It's just we hear stuff exploding. Those booms hit me in the chest.
Wow.
It's like, boom. And it's, oh, man, this is major. So then my niece goes, hey, I think we got to get out of here. Yeah. And I'm thinking, well, I don't know about that, because I'm not thinking. Nobody said, hey, split the scene. And this smoke is getting bigger. And this time I think that's the video I sent you. And I go, yeah, okay, maybe we got to split. So I go on the road and we're loading up the stuff, 2 families loading up like 3 cars. I got my stuff. And my friend Jason comes up with his Cushman like golf cart. He goes, hey, Ron, I think you guys really got to split because in Hawaii, we have different winds. We got the prevailing trades, this kind of comes in the northeasterly kind of. Yeah. That makes sense. And we got Kona, meaning south. So if the winds shifted from Kona, we would be torched real fast, like
Mm.
a 80-mile-an-hour wind coming our way. And the flames, from what I understand, after all this happened, I was watching YouTube, the flames were going like, horizontal almost.
Yeah.
So he said, let's pack it up. And that was like, you know, we gotta leave. So because of my family, I'm not saying we were the heroes at all, but because people saw us leaving with our
Yeah.
stuff, Tom was the next guy, and Maynard was the next guy, and then Kirk and everybody else started to pack up and leave. But we had no warning. Well, number one, our phones wasn't working,
Yeah.
And so we went to my brother's house in a subdivision called Hawaiian Homes. At that point, it was safe. And I think it was almost 6 o'clock at this time. But
Yeah.
on the way over to his house, there's a lot of people that work in Kaanapali, which is north of us. And, that's where everybody works, in the hotels. I saw friends of mine walking. And I go, hey, man, what are you doing? He says, the road's blocked. So I finally get to my brother's house, like 2 cars. He welcomes us. My nephew brought a generator. We hook it up.
Mhm.
So what happened was, I usually go for walks in the evening. So, at times like this, you don't want to be separated from family. Okay. So now, we don't have cell phone service, but we're already hunkered down at my brother's house. So I decided to just take a walk going back towards our neighborhood. Just I'm curious.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was stupid because I should have told my family, because what happened eventually. Oh, well, long story short, I just wanted to see what was happening. By the time I went like a block from our neighborhood, I seen the fires ready to ignite everything. The cops said, then finally the cops came around and said, hey, you got to beat it. Go to the Civic Center. And as I'm walking, I see a mass amount of people from the subdivision that was being evacuated, kids with teddy bears, moms carrying babies, the husbands carrying like luggage. I'm like, oh my God, this is nuts. Is this real? And you hear people crying, you hear people cussing, just a whole bunch of mixed emotions, And I'm thinking, and it's getting dark at this time. I look back, Mimi, and it's like a horror flick. It's bright orange now because it's getting dark. I'm going, oh man, this is nuts. And again, the booms continue. Boom, pop, boom. I was thinking, man, this is nuts. This is insane. Then I get to my brother's house again. Everyone's gone from his house. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because they got evacuated. I wasn't thinking. So I'm going, okay, now what do I do, right? I live in Lahaina all my life, so I know what not to do and what to do. So it's okay, that's all right. Then I finally find a note. They're at the Civic Center, but I'm thinking, I can't find them. It's like mass confusion. Good luck finding them. So I said, well, I just hope that they think I'm all right because I can survive. But they're worried about me for like the whole night. And at that time, Mimi, I think it was maybe 9 o'clock, maybe.
Yeah.
And from that distance, I could hear the fire crackling. And everybody in the hood is gone. It's just me. I'm just sitting there watching, right? So then I think somebody came around with the flashlight and says, hey, Ron, you got to leave. I says, yeah, okay. So I leave, walking up to the Civic Center. The evacuation center. It's almost 10 o'clock now. And the winds are blowing like 80. I swear, like 100. I couldn't even walk. It was like blowing me sideways. So I stop and I see some friends and I see my friend Oscar. Yeah, Oscar, what's up? And he was dazed and confused. I mean, he just looked at me like right there with a dead look. And he just walked away. I'm like, holy crap. So I'm walking, I'm talking to people. They're not listening to me because everyone's in shock. I talked to like a first responder dude, like one of those EMT guys. I said, hey, man, is this where people's taking shelter? And he just looks at me and continue to do his triage thing with the people there. So I walk in there and there's nobody there except like 2 ladies. In Hawaii, we call the elderly ladies aunties, right?
Auntie, yeah.
It's like, hey, auntie, man, is this where I'm supposed to shelter up? She goes, no, you got to catch that bus and they're going to take you out to Napili. I'm thinking, I ain't going to Napili. I don't want to get out there. I want to stay close. I don't want to get burned, but I want to stay around here. I know I'll be safe. There are cops telling people walking, you got to turn around and catch the bus. You can't do this. So I don't want to catch the bus. I want to stay here. So I hid behind this tree by the tennis courts for like an hour, like hiding from the cops. So I wanted to get to the post office because it's all cement, right? And I see some people kind of lingering over this. Okay, those guys are safe. So I get there at the post office and I see my friend Lay. My friend Lay just got off of work. She works in the restaurants and she's, hey, cruise with me, right? So her and another guy that works with her, they're like cooks. And the one kid who was with Lay, he goes, hey, Uncle Ron, I don't know if my grandma's alive, man. I saw my house burning and the cops said, don't go in. And I told the cops, oh, I got to check on my grandma. And he said, the cops said, no, we checked it. There's nobody there. And he kind of said to himself, no, man, I think
It's okay.
he goes, I think she's in the house, but they told me to leave. So a few days later, I found out the kid's grandma did die in the fire. But anyway, back to that night. And me and this kid were so tired. And this was like midnight, I think, already. So we fell asleep on the sidewalk, and we made pillows out of like old mail that was hanging around, like those ad campaign things. It's all bundled up. So we used that for like pillows. And we fell asleep. And I don't know how long we were asleep. Then the fire captain came around with a big flashlight and he shines it on us. He goes, hey, you two guys can't stay here. You guys got to evacuate. And he goes, we don't have any car and we're waiting for a friend. He goes, no, you guys got to get in the truck and go now. We're going to take you to the beach park, which is like about half a mile away. It was okay, but, our friend didn't come back. So the kid was with me. He goes, no, I think she'll be fine because she parked her truck across the street at the beach park. I said, okay, she's got it, right? We think she's a tough girl. She's got it. So they take us to this place called Canoe Beach. It's right next to the Hyatt Regency. So we're there with like 100 people, and we're just watching our town burn down, just burning from a distance. And already I'm thinking, we don't have a town. It's dark, but I've been there all my life, and we don't have nothing. The flame is just along the Front Street coastline. Okay. Me and the kid, I'm still with this kid that was with Leimomi. And then, sure enough, the cops came around, like 3-4 of them with the spotlights, with the megaphones, hey, you guys got to go out north. You can't stay here because the fire's coming. And this is like early in the morning, really, like, I don't know, 1 o'clock maybe, something like that. So Mimi, what happened was we had a friend who was hanging there that saw us. And he goes, hey, Ron, come with me. I'll take you guys out north. So we hopped in the car and everyone was tired. We're like just burned out.
Yeah.
And so he decided to just park in the parking lot in the Hanakawai shopping center. That's where like the Times supermarket's at. And he parked there and he says, man, I'm going to go to sleep. So yeah, let's just fall asleep. So we get up the next morning. It's, 7 o'clock or so, Mimi. It's bright. Yeah. I wake up and there's a long line of people trying to get into Times supermarket to get something.
Yeah.
But I walk out, I see my friend, like, hey, dude. And he was like the first in line. He goes, yeah, man, you guys all right? I go, yeah, we're good, man. He goes, just got to buy some food. I'm hungry. I go, at this time, I'm not thinking about food. I'm just thinking about what happened to people, what happened to my family. And I see my friend Nate, who's at the other end of the parking lot. He sees me. He goes, hey, Ron, what's up, man? So like, oh, I got to check him out. I used to work with Nate. He and his son, they do the Gracie's jiu-jitsu thing. And I walk up to him and he goes, man, this is really effed up. I go, yeah, you're right. He goes, man, I lost my house. So yeah, I think we lost ours too. I'm pretty sure. But his story was the same as mine. But he lost his roof early in the morning. He goes, hey, Ron, I didn't even think about a freaking fire. I was thinking about fixing our roof, right?
Yeah.
And he goes, no, I got nothing. But he had like a case of water. And despite his tragedy, he already knew he lost his house. He was worried about his dad, so he's worried. And this goes to what you were saying about Lahaina people. He just took the case of water and he was asking people, hey, you're right. And he was handing out water. And he already lost his shit and he's handing out water.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, man. But that next morning was just really sad. Like people were just asking me for some reason. They're asking me, is my house all right? Is my house all right? I don't know, man. And I was like, for some reason, like God designated me the guy, the information guy. Say, hey, Ron, And I said, I don't know. But in the back of my mind, because I know some of them live in our neighborhood,
Yeah.
and I didn't want to say anything bad, like
Of course.
make
Of
it
course.
worse. I just tried to give them hope, and I hope it's okay. That's all I could muster up. And
Yeah.
then the day was getting into the day right now, so maybe 10 o'clock, and it's getting hot. Times didn't open. I just had my bottle from my friend Nate, and nobody had any food at this time. There was an ABC store up the street, and they were closed. People couldn't eat gas at this time too. There's some people running on empty already.
Yeah.
So I decided to walk south again towards Kaanapali. It was safe, and I walked to this beach park. It took me about half an hour because I got a bad foot. So I get to the beach park and see my friend Johnny and his wife. And I go, hey Johnny, what's up, man? And he goes, man, we freaking lost our house, Ron. I go, yeah, man, I think we lost ours too. And just right when I said that, I heard my sister-in-law's voice, the house where we're supposed to kick back at, and then I came back and they were gone. So my sister-in-law, my brother is in their Honda, and I hear her voice. He goes, hey, Ron, get over here. So I look, say, hey, David, hey, Calvin. So I was with them for that day and that night. We kind of like just drove around and slept in the car and stuff like everybody else, So it's really traumatic.
Yeah.
People were confused, So my nephew, Chad, which is my brother Calvin's son, he's a fire captain for the Napili station.
Yeah.
And he found us, and he comes by just about 11 o'clock, and he looks at us with this blank look, and he goes, hey, Uncle Ron, you guys got nothing, man. It's down. And the thing is, Chad's house is the next street down from where I was at. He took over, the parents' house.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was like a really like surreal, because he's a fireman and he just lost his house. And he says, okay, I gotta go. Just like that. And so, oh man.
Yeah.
I gave him a hug. I mean, be safe. And it's just really, really tragic.
Mm-hmm.
And we were there, and right where we were parking, people were getting hungry. And thank God some of the eateries were open, and the owners talk about being stewards of us, the community. They were like just cooking for people,
Yeah.
And that's so cool.
Yeah. It's amazing.
So we got food from, I don't know where she went. And she goes, hey, we got pasta. And I go, man, I'm thankful just anything. If you got cracker and water, I'll take that. But
Yeah.
it was like, I don't know what restaurant she went to, but the chef was like, no, this is for you guys. Like a good hot meal.
Yeah.
So that first day was just really strange, Mimi, because everything was shut down, no power. I couldn't use my phone to call you up and tell you I was all right. So people were still wondering,
Yes.
is anybody all right? So we went to this other beach park, and we found out that if you stand at a certain spot on the beach, you could get Wi-Fi, or your data would work.
So everybody was standing.
So the biggest problem, Mimi, was communication.
Yeah.
It took like 3 days before my niece and nephew that I lived with to find out that I was okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're mad at me at the beginning for like walking off.
For leaving. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were probably not very happy about you leaving.
I go, sorry, but I do that all the time. But yeah, but not under like when the town's on fire.
Right.
I go, well, I was just going up the road. I just wanted to see what was happening. Like an idiot, I went. I look back, and again, I'm not trying to play the blame game on anyone. I'm not like that. I used to be like that, but my therapist told me, watch your anger, Ron. Right?
Mine too.
Yeah,
So
I had an anger problem, so I had to like learn not to go that route. Right?
Yes.
Thank God for therapists.
Oh, agree. 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
Right. So
I'm
anyway,
with you there.
But I mean, you would imagine. Again, not playing the blame game, but you would imagine the powers that be would have, okay, let's say they claimed that the sirens wasn't working, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But old school, right? I mean, it's like, hey, Ron, our stuff's not working. Can you and your friends go up and down the neighborhood and just blast your horns and say,
right. Right.
we got problems, you know.
Yeah.
I think that would have saved some lives, actually.
I think you're 100% right. And I don't think it's the blame game.
Are trying to just like help others and think about their next move instead of just being the victim mentality. A lot of locals here are really strong people.
Yeah.
Lahaina folks are strong.
They are.
And just keeping busy, maybe not thinking so much of our own problems, but in your own way, try to heal people. You know, like my friend Clint, what he does to keep his sanity is he goes to this place called Esterns. Okay, Esterns. It's in Kahana, you know, a few miles out north of Lahaina, and they have a hub over there. And Chef Kanamu Balinbin's like been cooking. I gotta mention his name because he's been on it. And I seen an interview with him just last night on YouTube, and actually he said the same thing. You know, he lost, and the only way he can deal with it is because he's a chef, is to just do what he loves and help people out. So I think to answer your question is to be sane and whatnot and be at peace is just to not think about it.
Yeah.
And if you can't help anyone, prayer is good for your mind anyway. You know, meditation, you know, kind of get the negatives out of your mind. And I've experienced friends of mine who are like stuck right now that they can't move forward. And rightfully so. They never experienced this. You know, I got some friends that, like I said, the kid that was with me lost his grandma in the blaze. I mean, she's like, I don't know what that would be like. And I don't say to people that lost like that, go, I know how you feel, because that's kind of like, I don't know how they feel.
No.
I can just say, well, you know, if you need to talk, man, I'll listen.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's a lot of mixed emotions right now, you know, but hopefully everyone will find their peace of mind. You know, my whole thing, Mimi, right now is like, I just pray and think about anyone in this world that's going through any bad time, you know, not just us.
Yeah.
But Maui, you know, we need your money. I mean, we need your business. I'm just trying but we need your business, you know. South Maui is open for business. There's a lot of resorts there, golf courses. You know, the ocean's clean down there, you know. So vacation, you know, vacay on Maui, you know. Yeah. Just the west side. The Lahaina side's kind of, you've seen it on the news. There's nothing there. It's devastated.
Yeah.
You know, but the rest of Maui is open, and we welcome you to come back. And
thank you so much for sharing. I will be thinking about this conversation for quite a long time. You're a very vivid storyteller, by the way. I don't know if anyone's ever told you that, but I was just like, I should have had popcorn. I was just captivated. Oh my God, what's happening? What's going to happen next? But unfortunately, what you were telling me wasn't a movie. It wasn't a horror movie. It was real life. And yeah, I'm completely, have a loss for words. So, but yes, thank you so much.
There are many stories like Ron's. We can't allow these people to be forgotten.